Hello there, where are we? Hello everybody, how you doing? How you doing? So, a few things I'm going to talk about this evening. Again, I'll say right away, if you want to join me, you need to send me an email. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on the situation we're in right now and how you see it unravelling, and what you think needs to happen. There's different sides of me that wants different things, to be honest with you. There's the anger that wants violent revolution and an overthrow, and then there's the other side that just thinks, you know what, I can apply some real critical thought to this and refuse to participate in any of it. But as I said a few weeks ago, it felt to me like they wanted a result of us out in the streets, and I think that's what started to happen. I think that was always the game. But anyhow, before we get to that, as I say, I'm interested to hear from other people. I know there's so many people in different situations right now that must be thinking whatever, and maybe not so much thinking about any of this, but there's people, I see Chaz put a comment up in his situation of sitting with no money coming in, starting to worry about where food and how he's going to pay for the electric bills and all this kind of stuff. So I'm sure there's many other people that are in the very same boat, and I'd be interested to hear for you people, and how you think it should go, how are we going to solve these problems. But first and foremost, anybody that's new to this, let me just get up, that thing there that you see on your screen, that's not where you live. This whole game, this whole structure, society, civilization, the powers that be, the power structures, the games that are being played are purely to stop you from questioning that thing. Because this reality is not what you've been told it is. You don't live on an absurdity. That's the question that they do not want you wandering into. For whatever reason. I do not know if there's more out there, or if it is some sort of limited, contained type system, or it's a contained type system with access to other areas. It's anybody's guess. But what I do know is that they've done everything in their power to make sure that you don't question that, and that you sit idle while you leave all your authority, all your power to other men and women to make decisions for you, to keep offering you delusional ideas and concepts about life, reality, what it means to be a human being, and what's expected of you. Great lengths have went to in order to deceive you and to believing you live on a cartoon absurdity. The reason that they utilised the globular earth, which is an extrapolation of navigation tools, it's not a three-dimensional tangible object, okay? But the reason they opted for this is because you can see that it's finite and has finite edges. It's in a void with millions and gazillions of miles between it and everything else. And it's all scary and dark and treacherous out there. And everything's been discovered on this little finite speck of dust, this absurdity known as the testicle. Everything's been found on there apparently. And you don't need to worry about any of that. There's no need for you to engage in your explorative nature, your inquisitive nature, and ask any questions about this stuff, because great minds, high priests have figured it all out for you. So you don't need to bother your ass. The only thing you need to do is sit still, idle, believing and buying into whatever idea or concept that you decide suits you, and pursuing that, always trying to fill the void, which you will never achieve, by the way. You can distract yourself to the day you die if that's what you want, but you will never fulfill anything within. You'll never find any answers until you start questioning this. Okay? Now I could go into so many reasons for why that is an absurdity, but I'm not going to get into all those reasons this evening. First and foremost, standing bodies of water don't bend. What we assume beneath our feet is a level plane. That's what we apply in every aspect of reality. Our practical daily lives work from a plane, a level. Okay? As I say, I'm not going to get into much more. What I'm going to show you is the globular earth fails to recognise that there's two different realities at play. The globular earth fails to realise that we move around in 3 dimensions upon a plane. What we see through our eyes is a different geometry. Simple, examples of this. Look along a train track. They will appear to converge. Because that happens due to your vision. It's a separate geometry, it's a separate question. Okay? You know, in reality things are not getting smaller, parallel lines are not converging, but they have utilised and played upon your ignorance of your own vision. And this is that. When we talk about this question, what you have to realise is that you, as the individual, are the authority. As soon as you tell yourself you're not smart enough, and that some priest of the priesthood is the spokesperson for you, you are now a moron and should not be involved in questioning any of this stuff. If you want to be apathetic and lazy and leave it up to priests, that's fine. But what happens is that it becomes corrupt, and they'll start to tell you any old pish that suits their wee agenda. Another aspect of living on a sphere, and again I pointed out that there's 2 separate things in regards to what we move around in 3 dimensions and how we perceive it with our eyes. Okay, now it's very simple. I'm just going to draw this for you quick before I show you. This is something that anybody can do themselves. On the sphere Earth, you're always at the top. Always at the top. As you look along the sphere Earth, the floor can never rise. You can't have an object in front of you and have the floor appearing up here behind the first object. Okay? It's a geometric impossibility. When you're on the sphere, and they will tell you this, you're always at the top, which means from your feet the floor curves downwards 360 degrees away from you. So I'm just going to share with you a simple little observation that anybody can do themselves. Let me just see here. This is at an elevation of 2 feet. Pay attention to these rocks here. Note that the water line is above these rocks here. Can you see it? That is an impossibility on a sphere. So again, you start from an understanding that this substance here You understand the properties of it. You understand the physicality of it, its behaviour, its characteristics. That's where you start before you move into visible phenomena and understand a sphere and how it would actually look. As I said before, a sphere of a circumference of 24,000 miles, you would be able to look along that sphere an immense distance before anything would be obscured. Okay? What you're seeing is limitations of your perception and light getting to your eye. As the floor rises up in line with your eye, it comes into a 0 point where the light isn't getting to the eye and the picture is not being rendered in your eye clearly. These things that the globular earth have used are only based in vision. If it's no pointing at red herring nonsense about circles in the sky and what's going on above and trying to define what's beneath you by what's above you, they're playing on your visual perception. As I said before, you will never get direct measurement of a three-dimensional sphere Earth because it does not exist. It's only a concept. So, what else was I going to say? I see that there's still debates and whatever else going on and apparent experts coming forward. Well, the experts never show up here. The experts will never show up here because they're no experts. They're experts in deceiving. Or they think they're experts in deceiving. If they thought they were that good, they would come here and try their deceptive little rhetorical sophistry. It's very, very simple. As a human being, when a man or woman makes a claim to you about your reality, they demonstrate it in a practical fashion. If they can't, and they make excuses and only offer you through words, you know there's a problem. Now, if you are honest and you investigate the globular earth properly, and you understand logic, you understand science, the separations of the subdivisions of science, you categorise things properly and ask the question properly, you will see that it falls apart very quickly. And if you can still maintain the belief in a sphere Earth, if you investigate it with an open, sceptical, cynical mind, then you're choosing to do so ignorantly. And don't let them play on the little illogical smarminess of appealing to scientists like some human being with a piece of paper after their name has somehow got more sway than you have. Because that's not what it's about. That's the cult. That's the cult and its culty ways. Using deceptive means to try and belittle you and undermine your own authority, your own discernment. I'm open to anybody. If you think you're a physicist or somebody who thinks they've got some practical references for me to support a globular earth claim, by all means bring it. As I said before, I have no horse in the race. I have no reason to no want to accept the globular earth. I'm just sick and tired. I became sick and tired of the bullshit. The majority of the bullshit comes through these screens. And I was fed up chasing my tail and taking things on hearsay. So when I applied myself and I set my own guidelines of what I accept in regards to claims made about objectivity, claims made about your objective reality must be practically demonstrable. They must be. But you've got people who are invested in education, who don't want to let go, who are invested emotionally, psychologically, financially, and they never stopped to question it, and knew they may be so far along the road that it's too arduous for them to change their path. So what do we think's happening, people? Because as I say, the globular Earth's utter turd, and I don't need to keep discussing it. I'm open to anybody that wants to discuss it, but if you want to discuss it with me and you want me to accept a globular Earth, you better come with practical references. If you don't, I'm not interested. I'm going to shoot you down, and I'm going to ridicule you for being a deceptive, illogical, lying piece of shit. I know it's not going to happen because I've investigated it thoroughly. I've covered the avenues. I tried desperately to convince myself that I lived on a sphere, and I failed miserably. And I'm not religious. I don't have any political agendas or any of these stuff. I'm just a man, honestly looking at the reality that I'm in. And I understand the vast importance of it. As I keep saying, and I've said since the beginning, you need to question the room. All the political games, the religious games, the societal games that are going on and being perpetuated are deliberate. You may find some satisfaction in some of these delusions for a time. But if you're like me and you never let go of those questions and you have a determination to keep asking the questions, these delusions just become useless to you. The whole structure that we exist under right now, this hierarchy, would crumble if everybody refused to participate and started to ask the deeper, bigger questions. Where the fuck are we here? Let's no start throwing concepts and ideas at each other about what we're supposed to believe in, what life's about, what my religious book told me to believe, what this religious book says, what this spiritual guru says. Fuck them. You're a fucking sentient animal in a farm right now, and you better start asking the fucking questions of where is the perimeters of this fucking farm and what's beyond it. Because I don't consent to being anybody's fucking farm animal. Neither should you. I've seen the infrared stuff. As far as I was aware, the NHS have now taken over, private homes and whatever else. I don't know exactly, but what's beyond the perimeters there to be found out if people start asking the question and stop getting caught up in this fucking utter nonsense that they're involved in. As I said before, regardless of what anybody thinks, people may be dying of something, right? But when you look at the numbers, what people need to put into perspective here is the gross, over-exaggerated reaction to what's going on. You don't even need to question, is coronavirus real or is it no? You don't even need to do that. All you need to do is point out at the massive overreaction here. because the massive overreaction tells you that there's a bigger agenda at play. They say people don't stop to think. Hang on now, we can stop the world for this, but we can't stop the world for anything else. We can't stop the world to out corrupt fucking politicians and dipshits running the show. We can't stop the world to feed the homeless, the hungry, to alleviate poverty, to put a better infrastructure in, to nurture children and their creativity and their explorative nature. We can fucking stop the world for this, we can stop it for anything. Car crashes, whatever. Anything that's an adversary to us, we can stop the world for. We could stop the world and say, hang on a minute, the globe's utter pish. Let's go and find out what this place actually is and what else is out there. Tell yous wee fannies, you'll get fed up with it before I will. Wish these globe cultists would fucking get it into their thick skull that they can kick and scream and cry and moan. And I've got video footage of these wee paedophile, creepy perverts phoning, women and children at silly hours at night. And I'm going to show these wee pricks' faces and hope that somebody recognises where they are. Because as I say, I struggle continually. There's an aspect in me that wants Law of the Jungle. That these wee fucking dipshits are hiding behind this idiotic structure that defends them. To want to antagonise and keep poking the hornet's nest, in the jungle you're going to get stung. So it's up to these people. These people can have it the smart way, or they can have it the brutal way. It doesn't matter to me. Because when you overstep the fucking mark and you don't take responsibility for it, that's your problem. I'm never going to have any guilt about that. I'm not going to lose fucking sleep about bitch slapping the fuck right out of you. Or worse. I don't care. And this is the corner they've got people into. You're not allowed to engage in your righteousness. You're not allowed to stand up with a venomous fuck you attitude. Because all the paedophiles, the vagrants, the scummy bastards have got a system run about them that protects them. While they run about causing chaos for everybody else, hiding behind their safety barriers. Well, this is the thing about the anger. As I said a few weeks ago, it seemed to me that was a desired effect. And again in the UK, it's like the UK, for all the people here that talk about their patriotism and their pride and their strength within and all that stuff, they're running about the place like weepy, weak little fucking polybags. Some faggot, some fanny on your TV says, oh, by the way, this is that and that, and you have to behave like this. Don't step too close to each other. They're just full of contradictions. The bit that pisses me off is the people that actually partake in it. And the UK seems to me to be the one that's going to get it the worst. Because you're so fucking apathetic and weak. I see people engaging with police all the time, and they don't even have the vocabulary, the rationale, the reasoning to be able to articulate to them why they're behaving like criminals. As I say, there's a side in me that wants to react to what I think the desired reaction is. To get angry, to get violent with them. Have a violent overthrow of the fuckers. But I'm smart enough to know that what's going to happen after that? You're just going to get the same structure with new dipshits running the show. As I've said so many times, I ain't interested in this reality. I have no attachment to this reality whatsoever. It's an abomination. The only thing that I have value for within this reality is the sentience. The sentience is hypnotised. Its focus and its attention is on meaningless, idiotic garbage. Now, while they're fixated on the shiny, people are suffering. Sentience is suffering. As I say, people don't even get the wherewithal to have a look and see what is actually going on here. And it's always been difficult for me to mingle with people, and it's even more difficult now. I just cannot go into like a shop or any of these things because I flared up the other day. I went into a Tesco Express. Now I don't know about you, but me, I just have no respect for authority whatsoever. And the second that somebody tries to exert some sort of authority over me, there's just this venomous cunt that rises to the surface in a fucking heartbeat. I can't go into a Tesco Express and have some wee weak-minded woman asking me to stand on a circle. And people are fucking pandering to it. Oh, I better stand on my circle. Oh. And you have to, contain the anger and express it in a way that they'll fucking get it. But even at that, they're too busy. What this is offered is the virtuous, self-righteous, needy weak fuckers. It's enabled them to enact their role to an even greater level. This afternoon, there was a female in the town centre, sitting minding her own business. Some other woman and her mother goes by, looks at her, goes straight to a security, no even a police, and informs them that somebody's sitting minding their own fucking business. See these cunts, see the bastard in me, it wants them all to be fucking hung, strung up by the fucking neck and eradicated. Pieces of weak-minded shit. Little fucking cocksucking, lick-spittle, government want-to-be morons. So you're having to point it out. Stand in the fucking circle. Stand on the fucking circle. You believe it's airborne or something? Right, well we're all in the same building. So what do you think's going to happen if I come 2 centimetres closer to you? It's going to pounce on you. It's going to get you. I just can't deal with a level of fucking stupidity. Well, these motherfuckers are probably sitting back belly laughing. Wholehearted belly laughs. Look at the state of these fucking imbeciles. They're actually behaving the way we asked them to. Wow. Some fuzzy-haired fucking idiot comes on your TV. Starts trying to dictate what you have to behave like. Now you've got fucking power-hungry pricks with fancy fucking dress costumes on, running about, trying to threaten you for minding your own fucking business. Who defined what was essential? Was any of that laid out? Did anybody receive any lawful paperwork? Did anybody vote for any of this? No. So for all these years that I've spoke about it, oh, you're a conspiracy, when I spoke about this 20 years ago, that this is what was coming, get it right up ye. Now what? You still going to sit back and try and imagine that it's not really happening? Oh, it's not really happening, no, that conspiracy stuff can't be happening. Take a fucking look. Who defined what was essential? Because I tell you what, I'll fucking define what's essential for me. No other cunt. But this is how they operate on consent. Because if you're too apathetic and fucking lazy to stand up for your own right, your own being, they will just stampede right over the fucking top of you. You, your fucking loved ones, your fucking children, and you, idiotic, irresponsible, creepy, weak weirdo, are fucking to blame for it. So what's next? Oh, it's your vaccines, blah blah blah. You don't need to worry. You don't need to, if you've got your smarts, you don't need to take a vaccine. Because you think they're going to come in and fucking manhandle you and hodge you down and jab you? Is that what you think's going to happen? They need to whip you up into a frenzy so that you'll willfully participate in injections. WS, you're looking around serial stupidity. Polaris proves your globes. This is WS. Polaris proves your globes. What a fucking wee dot above you defines the shape of the earth beneath your feet. How does that work, WS? You complete and utter lunatic. This fucking absolute gimpy swine spams my comment sections with the same drivel over and over again. Polaris proves you globe your earth. No, it doesn't. Total and utter fanny. Of course, people that vote are part of the problem, but within the structure that people are partaking in, that's part of the game. Again, this is the problem that people have. In an ideal sense, we wouldn't have a system where we voted because representatives of the infrastructure wouldn't need votes. But the game that people are involved in right now requires that because they already consented to it generations ago. The generations gone by gave their blood, sweat and tears to put an infrastructure in. Roads, running water into your home, toilets, rail networks. These things have now been privatised. People have become so fucking stupid, chasing their own little delusional fucking fantasy, pipe dream of stature and success, that they forgot about all that stuff. To the point now where you have private industries lobbying through parliaments to implement control measures over you, the populace, and also to offer products, predominantly pharmaceuticals. But people don't give a fuck. They don't care about their relatives that gave their blood, sweat and tears to put an infrastructure in. They couldn't give a fuck. Because they want to be a celebrity with a Ferrari and a big smug fucking fuck you over all their classmates because they're still stuck in kindergarten trying to get one up on everybody else. It's big competition and I need to wins. I've got a Ferrari and a castle and a mansion now, so I win the world. Yay! No, you fucking don't, stupidity. Polaris can't be used to establish the shape of the earth. You complete and utter fucking idiot. The luminaries were used for navigation using plain geometric tools like sextants and fucking astrolabes. When you go so far away from Polaris, the angle that you're viewing it at now becomes so acute that you can't fucking see it. Nobody is sailing on convex oceans, going over curves. You're complete and utter idiotic clown. Surveyors do not survey curvature earths either. Stop being ridiculous. Shut up, WS. Away you go. In fact, you're no welcome on here anymore with your nonsense. You're just no willing to learn. You're just a little cult lunatic, obsessed with your belief system. Ram your beliefs right up your hoop. No interested in them. All these idiots with their wee computer models and their wee interpreted models. They're just models, right? It's mathematics. You can create anything using maths. You can take an observed phenomena and interpret it into whatever you like. But you'll just cherry pick it because you think it proves your globular earth, and it doesn't prove your globular earth. You're just a moron. No, exactly right, Matty. Geometry, trigonometry, they don't work on curved surfaces. I'm sick of telling them that. Draw a triangle on a ball. Now go and tell me that all the angles add up to 180. They don't. If you're using a sextant to navigate, the baseline is a fucking level, straight line. You bring your object down to it's just touching that level line, and then you get an angle to your desired luminary. Latitude and longitude does not define the Earth's shape either. Honestly, you know, this is what I'm saying. These people that are invested in a globular earth are no interested. They're quite happy being delusional. The majority of them now I'm seeing are just barefaced liars. You can't keep defending an absurdity. It has no physical demonstrations. It has no measurable demonstrations. It has fuck all. Nothing. Exactly. Pragmatic. They don't understand that. You don't get a straight line on a sphere. It's impossible. But in their delusional world, water bends and straight lines on spheres is real. You can have flat bits on a sphere. I know that bit you're in appears to be flat, but it's just locally flat. Hang on a now. It's a sphere, oblate spheroid. It's curving continually. There is no flat spots. There are no straight lines. But, Polaris. Nah, it's because it's a big ball. It's bigger. I mean, if I make the ball bigger, somehow that makes flat bits and straight lines on it. So anyhow, as I say, for me, I think people need to be cautious. I was saying this in regards to the whole Bill Gates thing. Now, you know, in my experience, and I'm sure many other people know, that the mainstream media and these types of tools are controlled. They control viewers, they control numbers, they control thumbs ups, downs, they control subscriber counts, whatever else. And then I'm seeing things like the Bill Gates videos of, you know, hundreds of thousands of hate comments and tens of thousands of dislikes and yada yada yada. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why is that happening? If people are going to start protesting in the streets, there's only one way that it's going to end up. Now, people talk about martial law, this, that and the other. For me, they're not going to get to implement martial law until there's justification to do so. Now, justification to do so would be civil unrest. See, look, they're just barbarians. They are too petty and small-minded to govern their own affairs. Look at them. It's the same old fucking story. The natural inclination is to protest, but then again, it's like it shows you the psychology of people. Right, I give you my authority and my power, Mr. fucking politician or whoever, invisible guy. I give you all my authority and all my whatever, make the decisions for me. Then when decisions are made and things happen that don't suit you, you go, I'm going to come and protest you. Hey! Well, hang on a minute. You gave the cunts your authority in the first place. And now you still don't want to take responsibility for that. Now you want to go and bitch and whine and fucking moan about it. Same as these people that said before, we need to demand from these people. I demand my freedoms. Where do you think they've got your freedom? I've asked this so many times. Do people really think that there's like a fucking government vault somewhere where your ability to discern and reason and have logic and your freedoms, which is in here by the way, you think that it's in a wee safe somewhere, that the Illuminati have put into a wee safe box, and they've got reptilian guards around it or something, and if you go into the street demanding, they're going to go, alright, I'm sorry, there you go, and then you can just plug it back in again. I mean, it's fucking retarded. People need to understand that they're consenting to the game at a fundamental level. Now, you need to withdraw your consent at the base level and stop pandering to them. As I said before, when I see the aspects of people's behaviour and the police and their behaviour, it gets me angry. Like, fucking. There's an animalistic aspect to you that they know fine well how to prod and poke. But what you need to be smart enough to say, I'm not going to act on that. I'm going to sit back, I'm going to let that wave pass, and then I'm going to start thinking critically here about what has to happen. Again, this is just my ideal. But see if we just carried on living what we did, and getting out and communicating with each other, and just turning a blind eye at them. Fuck you. Not interested in your fucking games. Fuck off. They've got nothing. Nothing. So I say, I ain't interested in fixing it. Oh, how should society be and all this? I couldn't give a fuck. Because this reality, the structures within this reality are a fucking abomination. I want out. Show me the fucking door. What else is out there? I'm not interested in this petty piffle that everybody's involved in, because the whole fucking mess is just a bunch of weak dicks want to exert their power over each other because they've got an inferiority complex. So they're all eating each other to stand on the top of the podium for a temporary period, banging their chest. Oh, I'm the king of the castle. Oh. Carry on. All I'm saying is when it's out in the streets, as it started to happen, as predicted, watch what starts to unravel. You only need a group, and you only need one instigator within that group, and the whole fucking thing turns into a violent mess. Oh, now it's a threat to national security. Oh, right, now we need the military in. Game over. What are you going to fucking do? Especially here in the UK, the majority of Europe. You don't have any fucking guns. You allowed the fucking cocksniffers to take them. You can run out with a pea shooter. Huh? A catapult. Boom. Just on a side note, quick, Alan, I don't know if you'll get this or if you even watch anymore, but I've lost the numbers on my phone, and I meant to get a hold of Anne just to say to you, thanks very much for what you sent. I've been putting it to good use and it's been helping the wee man. I've been making some cream and whatever else. He's got bad skin, so I really appreciate it, buddy. I don't, as I said, I don't even know if you're going to hear this, but I put it out there anyway, and I'll get a hold of your number and thank you personally. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about RGH production, whatever you fucking sniffer. I get people saying, oh, why are you so angry? Why am I so angry and pissed off? Take a fucking look round about you. Take a fucking good look. They've got people believing total absurdities about who they are and where they live, and now they've got them dancing like fucking little puppets. Stand here, don't stand there. Stand over here. Do this, don't do that. Everybody's behaving. You can see the childlike mentality of people. It's like they're in fucking nursery school. And you've got a bunch of TPs, teachers' pets, running about like that. Yes, yes, I'll stand here. Miss, miss, he's not standing in the circle, miss. So excuse me, I'm a wee bit pissed off. Been told barefaced fucking lies, and now they're blatantly showing their hand. You've still got bewildered cretins denying that it's actually happening. Oh no, it's coronavirus, it's a real thing. It's just... What about the people that die of cancer every fucking day? If you look at the numbers. What about the people that fall off their bike and die every day? What about people who have accidents in their home every fucking day? The numbers far outweigh any coronavirus bullshit. Regardless of whether it's actually happening or no. I don't care. I don't even need to enter into that debate. It's so much easier for me just to go click, click, 2 clicks and they're gone. It's a lot more effort for them to continually keep making sock accounts. Carry on, boys. Your fingers will bleed well before mine's. Mine's are hard as fuck. I play the guitar. Clickety click is not even a problem for me. You keep churning out the fucking sock accounts. But your wee guts will be wrenching with all the bile and the hatred and your dissatisfaction and your wee beta male behaviour because you're so intimidated and threatened by real men because you want to be one and you're so fucking helpless that you don't know how to be one. And it terrifies you. So like a predictable little fucking sheep, you want to lash out at the thing that threatens your weakness. So make me a sock accounts. Get the fucking fingers dancing for me. I want to see blood on your keyboard, cunt. Chop chop. Paulie, that's the problem though. It's this whole thing about unity again and everybody's, coming together. In my mind, that's fine in an ideal sense if people are rational and logical and well versed and understand the games that's going on, but you've got the majority of people are bewildered sheep acting on emotional, irrational impulse. It's just not going to happen. And I don't want to, seem defeatist, because I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to keep showing my teeth and grit to the very fucking end. But I'm a realist. I know that if people do come together, it's just going to end up in some quagmire of fucking nonsense yet again. It'll just be a new system that will take maybe 100 years, 150 years for the corruption to start showing its true colours again. It needs to end completely. No structure. People want to live within a system, it should be free choice. And anybody that doesn't want to live within the system should be their free choice. And people should be respecting it. There's no fucking trolls making fun of me, okay? Hi, don't get it fucking right, silly. They're here dancing for me. They wait until I decide and then they dance for me. I'm the thorn in their side. They're not the thorn on my side. I make fun of them and their culty, idiotic beliefs like globular earth. So that's right, Matty. They can keep fucking trying. Oh, I know fine well, Chief. I know fine well, Chief. Tinterweb, big shots. How many of these people have came to me in reality? Fucking zero. None. You can fuck right off. Bye. They have divided us physically and mentally. People are participating in that off their own back. I see Trump last week, I think I mentioned this, stopped the funding for WHO. Exactly, Caroline Devons. These people that are stuck in these high-rise flats or squalid fucking living conditions, whatever. There's so much going on right now, and there's people in poverty, there's people without food, there's all sorts going on, and it's only going to get worse. The people that have the extra really need to be fucking helping out. It's a time to act as equals now. The time for your stature and one-upmanship's fucking gone. If people want unity and all this talk that I hear all the time, then they need to start fucking walking that walk. Oh, the what, again, I'm going back a long time here. I used to listen to Anthony J. Hilder and all these different people, and that was always the talk, that eventually they're going to have to try and instigate war with fucking China. But, as I say, I couldn't give a fuck. At this point now, I just couldn't give a fuck. The only thing I'm interested in is finding out what this fucking place is. I'm not interested in the shite that goes on. because it's never going to be an ideal situation. You can scream at them, you can shout unity at them, they can see the oppression right in their face, they can see all these things, they will just accept it. And before they ever get to the point of being able to decipher and discern and think critically about what's going on, the whole fucking thing's going to be up in the air. And then they really will never have time to, think about it. Because desperation's going to start kicking in. That's it, the big picture, but people don't understand the language. I mean, look at what's going on. They can't even, pinpoint the illogical drivel and the contradictions that's coming through the black box, the weapon that's in the corner of the room. They just don't have it. That is the only path, Jack Stander. That's what I think the game's about. As I say, everybody, as I said, it's, order from order. So how do you transition into another order? You need chaos. You need to have it up in the air. You need to have people in poverty. You need to have people in desperation, so that they become sick of it and they're quite willing and accepting of any new system that comes their way, because it allows them to get back into a passive, ignorant lifestyle. I've heard it from people so many times. Oh, I can't wait till this is over so I can get back to normal. I'm always looking in disbelief. Normal? You think the way life was before coronavirus was normal? That shows you how fucked and how far removed people actually are. That their servitude and slavery is spoke of as normal. And now they're even at the point of, wanting to embrace it even more so. Because their little delusional privileges have been taken away. Not by acts of any lawful, implementation. A bunch of crooked cunts on your TV saying this and saying that and telling you how to behave, and then giving power to police, and the police are now trying to exercise that onto the populace. None of it's lawful. None of it's even in the slightest bit reasonable, never mind lawful. But again, people are willfully allowing it to happen. So, you'll need to forgive me for being cynical and thinking that they're ever going to get anywhere. Because they're just not. And even when you ask it to people, listen, have you received any kind of lawful contract? Why are you shutting your business down? What's going on here? Oh, well, the government said so. That's fanaticism. That's like a massive cult and culty behaviour. Blow up the bus. Radical, Mr. Radical, because I said so. Okay, put that fucking vest on, go into that fucking place and fucking blow yourself up like that because I said so. Now it's happening en masse and everybody's participating in it. So I say, when I think about it, there's a horrible rage in me. Horrible. And if I had the means and I had the tools, I would wipe this fucking place out in a fucking heartbeat. Because that's the only way to fix it. When I contemplate this and the behaviour of people, it's a fucking waking nightmare for me. And I have to remove my attention from focusing on it. Right, well, that's what I'm saying, Neil Williams. I've said that. So the other side of me says, well, let's apply it in a different sense. There's not enough of us. The only thing I can do is remove my attention. Refuse to give my attention to it. I don't invest myself in it. It means nothing to me. My life's just the same as it was before all this shit kicked in. Nothing's changed. The clarity's still there. I need to know the fuck I'm here. Without that, I'm not interested in anything else. Yeah, I know, Stuart Lundy. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. Well, let's start a different pots and pans banging. Let's start a pots and pans protest. How about that? How about everybody protests their governments? No just on a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. Every night. Let the fuckers know that you're not playing their games. That'll no catch on because there's no self-righteousness and weak emotional garbage there. Where you think you're a good person, go on the NHS. The fucking hospitals are fucking empty. Oh, can I get you in for your cancer treatment because coronavirus? Oh, go on the NHS. Eh? I'll give the old people some more morphine. Just let them die. Go on the NHS. Eh? Exactly. 77. Let's clap our fucking servitude and our apathy. Way, aren't we good fucking ignorant slaves? Yay! Bang, 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 bang. Right, you want to join me? Because I have fucking rambled enough now. I've got rid of that fucking... that bile. This would all be very simple. It's very, very simple if each individual just minded their own fucking business. And didn't go poking into other people's subjectivity. Never mind, organised groups of people doing it. If individuals refrain from partaking in that sort of idiocy, it would be a lot better, be a lot more peaceful. The governments and politicians are all lobbying and dipping and poking their fingers into subjectivity, left, right and fucking centre. I've got somebody called Dan asking for a link, so... doesn't want to load up. Oh, fucking typical. Just need to bear with me here, Dan. It's taking its time. Oh, come on. Certainly not going to be Simon Dan. He's too fucking weak. He knows he'll get his arse felt if he comes here. We're running away from any discussions about Polaris. You can keep making sock accounts, fuckstick. What's above you does not define what is beneath your feet, stupid appearance. Make another sock account and answer that simply. How illogical are you? It's not even touching scientific. It breaks logic, never mind scientific. It's utter stupidity. If I'm asking the dimensions of the floor and I've got some fruitcake rattling on about what's above them, I would up the medication, increase the straps on the straitjacket, and put more locks on the fucking padded cell door. Now shut up. No duality, I've not seen it. Neil Williams, I've said that from the very beginning. I can take the whole globular earth concept and place us in the centre of a sphere that rotates from the outside of us. It's all just the same. I've said that about evolution. If you even get me started on that fucking utter nonsense. That makes more sense to me. The things degrade through time. Oh. Hello. Hello. You hear me, Dan?
Hey, Del. It's Dan here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I might try to connect you on my laptop. It might be a little bit better. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, but how you doing, brother? It's been a while since we talked. I managed to escape the insanity of Canada and the United States right before they closed the borders.
Nice.
And I drove down to Mexico with my dog. Holed up down here in Puerto Vallarta with my family.
Nice one.
riding out this storm. How are you doing in Scotland?
Ah, alright, alright. The people here are a bit more apathetic and, susceptible to the demands of strangers on their TV, but how is it in Mexico? I take it the people there are just living life as normal.
Rat.
Oh,
Some city. Mexico is pretty crazy just because they've got so many people work. Where I am, it's pretty calm. Life is kind of continuing day to day pretty normally. People are out in the streets. There's some shops are open. All the main restaurants and hotels have been shut down, but I mean, you can still get tacos off the street. So I'm pretty. I did shut down alcohol sales here, which is not good.
Dan,
Considering almost everyone in Mexico are alcoholic. So
Dan, can you hear me?
yeah.
You're breaking up really bad, mate.
I hear you. I can hear you.
I've never heard anything.
Okay, I'm gonna call you. Okay, I'll call you right back on from my laptop. It'll be a much better connection.
Cool. They don't. People are in shops and if they think it's an airborne thing, they're in like areas and shops. You've got the police jumping about in vans, in cars, side by side. Are they somehow immune? Did they get a special, pill or something that made them immune to it? Again, people just don't seem to be able to pick up on these obvious in-their-face contradictions. It's fucking bizarre. As a personal choice, this is the problem with people. They just don't realise that it's all based in consent. It's not a lawful thing, even if they tried to make it some sort of a law, you couldn't. You cannot take a human being's basic rights away unless they willfully participate in them. Dan, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Much better.
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah. Yeah, I just caught the last little bit of what you're saying, and it's so true. People are giving up their rights to liberty and to their freedom, and they're doing it through fear, and they're being controlled through the airwaves of what these governments are pumping out. Yeah. It's different here in Mexico. I mean, I was trying to explain to you a little bit, but I apologize. My connection on my last call was crap. Life here is continuing, pretty normally. People are in the streets. It's actually a beautiful thing. We see kids out in the streets playing as they should be. We see couples walking down the streets hand in hand, pushing their babies in strollers. Life continues on as best as you can. Yeah. The government shut down alcohol sales in the state that I'm in, which has been pretty tough on a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very different situation from what I'm seeing and hearing out of the United States and Canada. I've been talking to a lot of people, and people are just terrified. They're terrified to go outside. They're terrified to come close to people, and I think that's not the answer. I think people need to be coming together and fighting this fear. The fear is worse than any virus. Yeah. If there is any virus, right? I mean, yeah, it's difficult to have any positive kind of outlook or hopes, but particularly here in the UK. I mean, it's getting to the point now in the UK here where the police are trying to tell people that they can't even be in their garden. They're even talking about, looking through your shopping trolley to make sure you're buying things that are essential. I mean, it's getting to the point of absolute absurdity, It's fucking incredible. Yeah. So I don't have much hope for the people here. Well, I can confirm that all of the big box stores like Walmart, Costco,
all the ones that are owned by conglomerate corporations, they're doing that all over the world. I mean, even here in Mexico, if we go into town, if we go into Puerto Vallarta and we're going to go shopping, there's only 2 people allowed in the car. Only one person's allowed into the store at a time. They've got stickers on all the aisles, for directional. If you go past what you wanted to buy, you have to go around and get back into line. It's ridiculous. But the problem is that people are just accepting it. There's been no official law made. There's been no decrees. There's been no changes to constitutions.
No.
These are just recommendations, and people are they're abiding by it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen some of the videos coming out of Brazil and Sao Paulo. People are just saying, I'm done with this, man. We're going out in the streets. We're going to go and protest in our cars and, block traffic for miles and miles.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming to everywhere in the world. It just depends on what kind of phase, your community is in and how fed up your people are. You look at the protests in Idaho and Michigan. I mean, they're done, right? They're going to their governor's heads, right? Like their governors are going to be hiding for their lives because the people are done, and they realize that this is tyranny. Tyranny is just walking in. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is because you want to stay positive. You want to remind people to stay positive. Don't let the fear get to you. But you also have to stand up for your rights. You also have to stand up and defend your rights, your liberty, your life, your freedom. Because otherwise, if you're going to let them take it, then you don't deserve it.
Exactly.
And that they've been telling us that from day one. If you're going to give things up willingly, you didn't deserve it in the first place. So I don't think it's good to go out there and be violent because they have way more violence that they can beget any violence that you're going to come at them with. So I think it's just, it's civil disobedience, man. Go out into the streets and
I think that's a better way. Civil disobedience, as in, people just going about their daily life and sticking up for each other in that aspect. But as soon as they start congregating in city centres, that's when I see the issues happening. Because everybody knows you only need a couple of agent provocateurs on there, and before you know it, the whole thing's turning into running riots and that's it. Military comes in, and as you say, they have the better weapons, they have the better power. So people really need to be careful about what they get involved in.
Yeah. I just saw a video today from somebody, uploading it to YouTube. I don't know if it's still up there, but it was in Belgium, and rioting in the streets. I mean, it wasn't hundreds of youth, but a couple dozen youth that were riding around on bicycles defying the lockdown orders, and they brought in the military, and they and then it ended up becoming violent where they were beating them in the streets. And I think it's going to be happening everywhere because they're not going to be rolling back any of this, right? They didn't bring in any of these new rules just to roll them back.
No,
right?
You're right, because you can see it here. I mean, I switch my TV on now and again just to try and catch up with what's happening. But even in the TV here, they're making adverts specifically about this, stay at home and trying to make it cool and trendy and making statements of this is the new norm and this is the way it's going to be for the future. And people, I'm like, fucking wake up, people! They're telling you this is going to continue.
Oh yeah, they've been telling us right from day one that this social distancing is it's here to stay, right? All these regulations that they're bringing in, it's not going away. We just got actually a notification today for the state that I'm in, the state of Nayarit, where they're imposing vehicle restrictions. So depending on what your license plate number ends in, like if it ends in this number, then you're only allowed to drive on these days during the hours. And I mean, people are just like, oh, this is the new norm. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like you have a vehicle, and if you have the authority, a driver's license, and in some countries you need insurance. If you have that, you should be able to have free travel to drive wherever you need to. But people are just accepting it. And so I think there was enough of a backlash from the people today that the governor then made an announcement saying that they're temporarily, suspending this order until they've done more investigation. But I could see it coming to every part of the world, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to have a city like Sao Paulo with millions and millions of people, and if they start, engaging in civil disobedience, going out into the streets in their cars, blocking traffic, causing a ruckus, they're just going to come down hard and say, okay, you're not allowed to drive anymore. Or if you do, you have to have, explicit permission.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's going to get like. It's going to be all or nothing. And that's what people need to realise. If they're going to partake in the disobedience, then it has to be the full road. They have to go right to the end. So, they have to be prepared for, the military and the police and whatever else comes. You can't just go half-hearted and think you're going to achieve something. It's just not going to work, So
no. I had a bit of a crazy adventure getting down to Mexico. It was kind of right around the middle of March when I realized, I kind of knew that this was happening even back in January when I was down in Mexico the first time with my parents. And I was talking to my mom and I told her, I was like, if things get crazy, I'm just coming down here because I'd rather be where the sun is, living on the ocean where I can go catch a fish in the water. All the fruits and vegetables that feed Canada and the United States are grown here anyway, so I might as well be at the source. And so it was mid-March and I realized, things are getting bad. And then they started talking about, shutting down the borders. So I just packed up my truck and my dog and a bunch of emergency, food and whatnot. And I got across the Canadian U.S. border. And then I saw a news posting an hour after I crossed that they closed it. So I just made it into the States. And so I just didn't stop driving. I drove all night. I did stop at like 5:30 in the morning in the Nevada desert because I was hallucinating. I was so tired. So I had to sleep for an hour. And then I woke up and I was like, nope, got to keep going. And I drove all the way down through Vegas. That was really weird. Vegas is dead. Yeah. Nobody on the streets. All the hotels shut down. And then by the time I got to Arizona, I could really start to sense the intensity of people. And Arizona is, one of the freest states in the United States, right? Like they're right up there with Texas and, don't tread on me. And so when I was stopping in Arizona for gas, there were people walking around with AR-15s, guns out, they were, fully engaged and openly talking about how that this virus is just a head fake for, them to bring in their new system, their new money system to destroy the dollar, destroy all the fiat currencies. And so right then and there, I was like, this is happening for sure. And these people are awake. So I made it across the border into Mexico. I did, in total, it was 52 hours of driving to get from my place in Canada down to my parents' place in Mexico. And I did it in 60 hours total time. I don't recommend it. It's not safe to do that kind of drive, but I made it, just in time. Yeah. And I'm happy. I'm with my family. We've got a really safe place. We're in a good community. The people here are good. We're going to be starting up a community kitchen at one of the restaurants. So the restaurant actually got served notice today that they're not allowed to be open at all anymore. So we're thinking that probably in about a week, we're going to be opening a community kitchen and, just making food for the community.
Exactly.
One meal a day, rice and beans and chickpeas and just try to keep people from losing their shit.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to mention, when you mentioned about the fishing, because I had that thought. How they say that, travel, essential travel and this, that and the other. Well, if people said, it was essential for them to forage for food and to catch their own food, then there's an essential aspect of life. Get out there, go fishing, go walking in the woods. Anybody, tries to stop you, you say, what's essential? I don't have any money for food, so therefore I need to scavenge and get the food that I require. So it is essential. Simple, Yeah. So hopefully people utilise that. Get the fishing rods out, go fishing. Fuck them.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because the village I'm in is a fishing village and the military pretty much shut down all of the fishermen except they've given a few permission to continue going out and bringing fish in to sell at the fish market. But if you don't show up at the fish market first thing in the morning, by 8 o'clock in the morning, you're not getting fish. and we're not even in the beginning of this, right? Like
Yeah.
when the real hammer drops, when they drop the next shoe, which I think it's going to be a steel-toed boot that they're going to drop on us, they're going to shut it down entirely. So I mean, I brought my fishing rod, and if I have to go out in the middle of the night under the cloak of darkness to try and catch fish, then that's what we're going to have to do. But
But this is it.
again, trying to just keep people positive, right? And remind people that the worst thing that you could be doing right now is just holding up in your room alone and listening to the news. It's going to make you sick. The fear is going to make you sick, right?
Turn the fucking thing
Turn it off. Turn your devices off and get outside. If you can get outside without freezing your sack off, get outside. Get a soccer ball, kick it around.
Exactly.
If somebody comes and tells you, that you're not following the rules, move on. Go find another place.
Yeah.
Right. But civil disobedience, but don't get violent unless they're going to get violent with you, and then you have to defend your life. But stand up for your rights, man. Everybody needs to.
Yeah, of course. As I say, if everybody was armed, if we all had the equaliser, if everybody had were armed, we would never have to face any of this, because these fuckers would never come and try and impose their way, So it'll be interesting to see what happens in some of these places that do bear arms. See how far they get.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at statistics the other day, and I think they said that there's about 300 million guns in the state of Michigan alone. All right. So, the United States is heavily armed, and I mean, there are still quite a few people there that are willing to stand up for their rights. I don't think it's going to be a good thing if it degrades into that kind of, essentially civil war, right?
Yep.
But I think it's going to start happening all around the world. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think the best thing you can do is just try to be safe, keep people around you safe, stay together.
I keep talking
Yeah,
to
we're
each
not
other.
allowed guns here in Mexico. I had to leave all my guns in Canada, which was really crappy. I mean, even though I drove across two borders, when I drove across the Canadian-U.S. border, they didn't even check nothing. Right? I had my dog with me, and he's a big German Shepherd, and he's sticking his head out the window, so the border guards thought it was the cutest, funniest thing ever. So they didn't check anything. And then when I drove from the United States down into Mexico, nobody at the border, no passport stamp, nothing, just drive right in. So I was sitting there going, damn it, I could have brought all my guns, all my ammo, but I also don't really want to attract that kind of attention either, right?
Yeah. Well, that's it.
So
It's the same.
it's a tough.
It's the same here. I mean, me and a friend of mine, we went on, what day is this? Saturday. I think it was Thursday evening. We went out on the motorbikes and just went a run up the northwest coast, and running back. I mean, it was eerily quiet. Everywhere was totally silent, but not one police, nothing. Nobody tried to stop us. There was nothing. So see, I'm just continuing my life as normal right now and see what happens in the future. But this is the problem that everybody has. They're too busy watching these TVs, buying into the fear, buying into the hype, and forgetting just to live life. And as you were saying, spending time with each other, looking after each other. But I think it's important for people to speak to each other as well. As I've always spoken about here on this channel, explain to them the language, show them how these things work, highlight where it's happening so that people become better equipped to deal with the sophistry, because that's how it's happening. It's the use of sophistry, use of language, as we touched on earlier. There's no lawful paperwork. None of this has been passed through any kind of courts or any, proper system. None of it. It's just people on the TV saying these things and everybody's, jumping to it and behaving. It's fucking bizarre. Really is bizarre. Mm-hmm. And these people that slandered and slated conspiracy theorists for all these years, as I said at the beginning, they can now lie in the bed that they ignored because it's fucking here, and you better face up to it because there's no turning back now. It's happening, No,
I know it's happening, and yet still there are a lot of people who are holding on to some kind of fleeting hope that nope, it's all going to reverse and it's all going to go back to normal. And I worry for those people because I worry that as we get closer and closer to whatever's coming, it's an event, right? Like there is going to be a defining event that's going to happen, and the closer that we get to that, and when it happens, those people are going to have the hardest time mentally adjusting. And I think that the virus, I'm not afraid of the virus. Even the prospect of World War III breaking out, I mean, yeah, it would suck, but no, what I'm afraid of is panicky people that have realized now that their sense of reality is no longer there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been figuring this stuff out for years because we've been looking at the physical world and realizing it's not what we were told.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't know exactly what it is, but we can definitely say we know what it's not. And so we've been waking up, and that's why we continue to try to wake people up, is to get them accustomed to what's coming, because we've known something big is coming, and now, like you said, it's here, it's happening, and yet there are still people walking around going, oh no, it's all gonna be fine, everything's gonna be great. Haven't you seen the stock market's going up? It's like, no, you are so out of tune with what's really happening around you.
Exactly.
So I worry for those people, and I worry that they are going to hurt themselves, or they're going to hurt the people around them, and it's going to be a natural reaction because they are not waking up. They don't want to wake up to it. So I guess we just have to keep trying, keep plodding along, and keep trying to wake up one more person a day. And if we can get one more person a day, at least we're giving them a chance, right?
Exactly. But as you say, it's that they're not going to wake up until it's on their doorstep. You know, they'll cling on to the delusions and the hope to the very last minute. And they're not going to be prepared for it, just as you say. So for me, it's just time to get the popcorn and sit back and watch it happen, because right now there's nothing we can do other than, as you say, speak to each other. You know, try and offer that to other people so that they may get a bit of clarity, you know, and see the predicament and the situation that they're actually in, rather than this delusional fantasy of imagination and hope, you know. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
All right, brother. Well, I'm going to get back to not looking at my screen and going outside, catching some sunshine, and all the peace, love, and respect to you and everyone watching the channel. Keep you guys safe. Keep yourself safe and sane, and just try to stay positive and keep everyone around you positive. Tell dirty jokes, and just tell like filthy jokes to people and just get them laughing, right? And try not to joke too much about coronavirus, because then it brings them back into, that little box. That get out of the box, get out of it, right? Just fucking run down the street naked and hug people and then laugh as you run away. Just have fun, guys. Have fun, because that's, we may not have a lot of time left to have fun. So enjoy it while we got it, and make the best of what you got.
Exactly, mate. Totally agree.
All right, man. Well, it's good to see you. It's good to talk, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Definitely, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Take it easy, mate. Maria Lynch, written by Jimmy. Teachers must learn to stop the lies while hauling the priests through Lucifer's eyes. Flying to Mars in fancy cars, which the Pope supplies, oh what flat out lies. Nice one, Jimmy. Let's see who this is. Cheers, Anne. Right. I'll come back and see if there's any requests in a minute. people. Rock Vibrations, how you doing? Well, Matthew, some people don't like the swearing. Apparently I've not to be angry, I've not to swear, I have to get better lighting, I have to wear better jumpers, I have to stop smoking, I have to, I mean, I don't know, the list's massive. I try and not concern myself too much with other people's fucking demands or the expectations of moi. Fuck them, mate. Keep swearing. Get it right up them. Oh, you said words. You made noises that I don't likes. Stop smoking, girl, because the game is to live forever in the abomination. I'm so enamoured by the abomination and I loves it so much that I want to project my messiah complex onto you and tell you to stop smoking because you've got to live forevers. No spanks. No spanky. This place is a fucking riot. Oh, well, Tanya. Fucking love the fucking cunt and smoking. It's fucking gallus. Fucking loves it. Bill Hicks used to say, meat and potatoes, So when I go to the other dimensions, or whatever it is, and God wants to have a word with me at the pearly gates or whatever, black or God, hold on to know. You get a set of skins, some green, some tobacco there, mate. Once I roll one, then we can sit and have a wee chin wag if you like, about your fucking idiotic creation there. What the fuck was that about? Get the skins and the fucking smoke suit and then we'll have a chin wag. Send Peter, or whoever the fuck it is, round to the shop to get some Rizzlers. Oh no, you can't come to heaven. Heaven's all fluffy clouds and angels sitting in fluffy clouds in the fucking yoga pose. Nobody smokes. Oh, what a fucking riot that is. Can't wait. Cannot fucking wait. And all you religious people out there anyway, according to you, this is Satan's creation. So is this. So by me smoking, it's a get it up you to Satan, or whoever. Is it not? So the people that are telling you to stop smoking are really the true Satan worshippers, because they want you to preserve Satan's creation and all that stuff. So watch that wee fucking reverse trick right there. Huh? All the drug addicts and the alcoholics of the world are really God's servants because they're taking a big steaming shite right on top of Satan's creation, according to you religious dudes out there. So what's your problem? Smoke Low's vibration. Are we back to this, Deltron? Oh, is this a big love and light crew? Lose your vibration because this is a loving creation thing that's a cunty and abomination. Shut up, Deltron. Any seed-bearing fruit. Read it, Del. Whatever, read Pragmatic. You're well versed in this. We could have a chin wag and you could enlighten me to some of these things. I think you should get Hangouts or email me your phone number or something so we can have a chat about this Bible stuffs. Because I'm interested. I just don't have the attention to fucking sit and read it. But I've got respect for you. So I would be willing to listen to what you had to say about it. Weed is cool. What, the good God, or Saturnus, or whatever his name is? The good God, the good guy God. He said weed's all good. That backs up what I was saying then. Fucking stuff yourself with the coffee and the chocolate, Tanya. Because if you're a good God servant, you're fucking defying Satan's creation, apparently. Gets mad at God. You're somebody all terrified because I'm mentioning God. What God? Which God? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Is sarcasm lost on you? Huh? Everything's literal. He said God and he's talking about God. He's a blasphemer. He's a blasphemer of God, the loving dude. Same here, Kristen. Say we went up to Inverary and across the back road by Loch Awe to the Green Welly, and it was eerie as fuck. I actually says to my mate, I feel as if the fog's going to come and get us. The hills have eyes, there's going to be wee creatures coming to get us. Fucking scarily quiet. And you've got us two fucking knuckle draggers screaming through the valleys. They must have heard us for fucking hundreds of miles away. I say screaming, I was actually doing the speed limit. I didn't have it off the gauge at all. I was bang on the speed limit. I wasn't hitting the needle. No way, not I, never. Tell you what, it's fucking brilliant. I could get used to it. If there was a rapture thing, or all these morons get wiped out, because it was like a 65-mile personal racetrack. It's fucking tremendous. Not a fucking soul. GSX 1400. My cult tattoos. Oh, cult. Do you know what a cult means? Do you know what a cult means? Hidden. So you see my hidden tattoos? Oh, that's right. I put makeup on them to hide them for you. You don't even know what that word means, you moron. Fucking idiots. It's your cult tattoos. Occult, Saturnus occult tattoos. I'm a Satanist with hidden tattoos and all that stuff. You better start learning the language that you're using. It's good, Guns of Navarone. Keep laughing. Rip the pish and laugh. Because when you do that, you see all these fruitcakes, all the insecure, weak-minded people that instantly want to control you because you threaten them with words. It's amazing. I don't think they grew up in the same backdrop as I did, because there was a saying here: sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Which is a great wee saying if people actually pondered on what that actually meant. Unless I am causing you physical harm, shut the fuck up and wind your neck in. Your words hurted me. Sorry, weak one. Very sorry. Not. Occult means hidden. Esoteric means difficult to understand. Right? And don't mix up criminality. That's another thing. Satanists. Criminals. Psychopaths. Who's my God? I would love to know. I'll let you know right now. I bow to absolutely no authority whatsoever. No physical or metaphysical or imaginary conceptual fucking authorities. I bow to none of them. And if there was a metaphysical God, do you know what? I would be getting 5 gold stars and you would be getting none. Because the only metaphysical God I would go on board with would somebody who would agree with what I just said. I ain't going to be servile to any fucker. Thor, fucking whoever, I could not give a fuck. You try and bring me an idea of being at the fucking whim or of to be in servitude to some authority, whatever you imagine that to be, I'm going to tell you to ram it. And the real God will tell you the exact same. Right. Now the quests. Great place. Maybe it's all a game we're in and we have to work it out to win. I think the game that you're involved in this reality for me is that it's experience. Just experience. The problem I see, and again I went back and listened to some of these people debating the evolution, creationism. It's not about that. It's always about, purpose. And they always miss the point. Why is it not enough that the purpose is just experience? If you're an eternal being, right? Infinite, eternal, whatever, you're not going to change anything. You can only have experience. The purpose or the meaning of life, just experience, just an experience. If I created something, right? If I created a structure, right? Some place that you could go in and have an experience in there, right? You're not going to be in there going, oh, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of this? There must be a reason and a meaning. It's just an experience. If I paint a picture, on a canvas, I created something, it's a creation, right? And then you come and you view that creation, you experience it. Now you're going to start saying, oh, there's a purpose and a meaning. Aye, the meaning was experience. I created something and you experienced it. So if this is a creation, a painting, you're just experiencing it. The meaning is experience. Having an experience of this painting. No! I have to behave like that. I've not to wank on Tuesdays. I have to wipe my bum front to back on a Thursday, and if I don't, I have to say 69 Hail Marys, and then I have to eat a piece of paper and let the priest touch my bobby. Once you start getting into all the grounds of the meaning and the purpose, you're just asking for it. That's where everybody's subjective nonsense starts to spew and cause a big fucking muddy mess. What's the matter that you can't just say it was just an experience? Because you see on what you perceive as injustice and all this stuff, so therefore you become, oh, poor me, victim, I need a God saviour type messiah thing to make me feel better. Been there. Doesn't do anything for you. Just keeps you in victimhood. Snap out it. Don't take it so fucking seriously. Bill Gates Microsoft patent with 3 6s on it. Good up. And that must mean that he's the devil's son or something. So it's a murky place, that the meaning of life. It's just simple when you just treat it as an experience and you're not attached to it, saturated in it. Oh, I'm a poor victim of this thing. That's a good idea, my man, he's detector. Fucking right. Everybody go to the window right now and clap for moi.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, mate?
Ah, like shit.
Oh, smashing. Here to cheer us up, are you?
Yeah. No,
You're always a cheery chap.
yeah. Really motivating and all that.
Wonderful. That's exactly what we need.
Aye.
Everybody, Neilus is here to cheer us all up. Why is that no sharing? What's going on? You there?
Yeah, man.
Why is it no sharing anything? What's going on here? Sorry mate, anyway, I can't show your face, it's not letting me share that for some reason.
I'm too pretty.
I know, I wanted everybody to see you and your petty lip and your dreariness that you came to offer us.
My tears.
I've got a wee tiny violin here, I'll play it while you're speaking.
Aye.
So you're not having a good time? Same as the
No,
rest
it's just I was trying to add on what you just said about the experience. You know, I can get behind that is about the experience, but right now it's just I'm at this point where I'm like this is it's a bit too much to enjoy. Like. There's just too much going on around. I'm like, where's the fucking exit?
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of guy that goes like, okay, I'll just kill myself. I don't feel like that.
I know, it's because we've got these systems and these people that are trying to dictate and control everybody else's experience. It's on the realms of subjectivity and manipulating and trying to dominate on those grounds. So just let everybody have their experience. It's these motherfuckers that take the whole experience seriously and get caught up in it and want to dominate it and control it. It's a fucking shambles. You know, and it's just like any other experience. If I'm on the roller coaster, it's good fun. But if there's a wobbly wheel, eventually I'm going to get sick of that and start fucking, saying, "Oh, I want off the ride now," because I'm not having fun. And
Aye,
that's,
aye.
that's the analogy I use for that. This is what's happening here. You know, the experience.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like a roller coaster. Bumpy, screaming kids in the back, or whatever, So,
Yeah,
and I don't know. And I'm bored as well, and I don't really feel like doing anything. It's like I'm really in between this, just getting, going one wall to the next, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I going with this?
I know, mate. I know. You just got to try and occupy, your time and chill yourself out. That's the best advice I can give. It's the same for me, man. But I've lived like this for a long time. Since my early 20s, I've been isolated and lived pretty much the way life is right now, and everybody's experiencing it. So, as I say, I still just go about my business, go and do what I need to do, get on the bike, whatever. As I say,
Yeah.
for me, if I'm feeling stress and I'm feeling anxious, then I have to have a look at where I'm placing my attention. Obviously, I'm
Aye.
placing my attention on something that's no good for me. So I need to remove my attention and find what, alleviates that and makes me feel light again,
Yeah, I'm trying to find that actually. I'm trying to find the thing that, uh, alleviates the pressure, and then because if there's nothing else to focus on, it's really easy
Yeah.
to go on YouTube and get fucking depressed by all the moronic stuff that's going on.
That's it. But when I go on YouTube, I pick where my attention goes. As I say, I'll watch reaction videos to music. I'll watch animal type things or reruns of an old football match, or something that's light and easy. But if I continually focus on this stuff, it's like, as I say, I can't even go to a supermarket without getting irate. So I've got to remove my attention. I need to make sure that I don't involve myself in it, because I know that it's not going to benefit me.
Aye. Yeah, but it is getting harder these days. I can feel it, It's just I need to look away way more often than before, metaphorically speaking, to to not see the things and get irritated and agitated and lash out, because I'm not, I don't want that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
'Cause last Tuesday I went to the supermarket, and there was the person working there. She had to clean every cart before it was, so it was allowed to be given to the next person that comes in. And I was like, I don't care. I've got gloves on. But she says, no, I'm not allowed to do that. So she had to clean it, and then, I can take the card in, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I know.
And I try to go at the moments when there's not a lot of people in, so I don't get, because I've heard, family members saying that when they pass other people too close in the supermarket, some of them freak out and go absolutely mental. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily I have not yet experienced that, because I usually go at the times when it's not busy.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, I mean, I just feel like that if I actually experience that myself, I might just go snap and go completely nuts.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'm the same, mate. I've just got to keep my attention away from them and avoid it at all costs, and only when it's a real necessity will I engage in it, but as I say, it's a real eye-opener. Now you can actually see the scale of the hypnotism and how, affected people actually are. And at the same time, I always think to myself, well, looking at it right now, it's an opportunity. This is an opportunity for people to take a good look at themselves and to snap out of this delusional hypnotic trance that they're in. And maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. As I say, it's anybody's guess right now. I think it's highly unpredictable for what avenue this is going to go.
Yeah.
But just like the last caller, I really feel that. I said that a couple of weeks ago. It's not about coronavirus. There's something bigger coming here. There's something else in the pipeline that's really going to kick in. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that as well. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's so many things that could be it. There might be a lot of different people with different agendas. They're like, oh, this is our chance. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But
Exactly.
yeah, I tried looking in to see what the other people think, but then I found out that I really quickly got into a lot of deep rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt, and I'm like, fuck off.
Well, that's it. That's why I'm only interested in facts, practicality, you know,
Aye.
real experience, because the rest of it's just needless fuzz, and it takes up too much of your attention, and it's to your detriment, to be honest with you. It's only it's only healthy when you can have the hand-on experience of whatever, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that, but sometimes I bounce back between, okay, let's see if I could see what's coming, or wait until it's on the front door and it's too fucking late,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, that's what I feel like,
As I say, that's it. You know, I agree. Entertain any possibility. That way, you're better equipped for whatever may be coming. But no spending too much time consuming myself with it, because it's not really in my power for what's going to happen. I'm not in a position of authority or power, and I can only wait and see how they act.
Mm.
You know,
yeah,
and I can only define myself, you know, by my action and my reaction. I can't account or place expectation or relevance upon anybody else's actions or reactions, because it's none of my fucking business really at the end of the day, you know. And if I put too much attention to it, I'm just going to burn myself out. Yeah.
aye.
So
Yeah, and what? Yeah, because my entire family is religious, and recently, while I was staying with my parents for a few days, my nephew was there as well, and what really gets to me is when these kids buy all the religious stuff because they grow up with it and they just think it's normal. And then, you know, especially around Easter, it's like the whole fucking Christ on a cross stuff that goes on.
yeah,
And then I really say, okay, I just need to go back home and just then be miserable alone instead, because I just, especially kids. I mean, I know that they're vulnerable. They can be influenced, and that what gets to me, because they just take all the shite.
yeah,
They take it as truth, and they you know their own thought processes go on with the things they hear from their parents
yeah.
or grandparents, and then they just say things, and oh yeah.
Exactly. I know. Sorry, mate. Sorry, bud.
But I still have my bike.
That's it. Get fucking out on the bike and just enjoy yourself, you know?
I yeah, I have a different one though. I had a lot of trouble with the previous. I got screwed over by the dealer. It had a lot of miles on it, but yeah. I mean,
You don't
it
seem to have much
looked
luck.
sorry.
You don't seem to have much luck.
Oh no, I don't. No. I just it was a high mileage bike, but it looked, you know, very good for that age. But I ended up breaking down on the highway 6 times after like 5 minutes of riding after I bought it. and apparently there was a lot of shit in the tank, in the fuel tank. There
Right.
was
Lying for so long
sorry.
because it's been sitting for so long.
Well, it looked like a leaf, like part of a brown leaf.
Right.
It was really strange. I was like, how the fuck does that get in a fuel tank? So I had to stop 6 times on the highway, and at some point I couldn't even get down the exit because before I got down at the end of the exit, the fucking thing stalled, and so that was the worst experience ever. So I got a different one after that because didn't want to fix it. Had to send new carburetors. They didn't want to. They couldn't find any different carburetors, so I got a phaser now, 1999. It's pretty nice. Like
Is it a 600 or is it the 1000?
600.
Nice.
But my first bike was a 45 horsepower, and this one is 95. So it's a bit of getting used to. The throttle is a lot more sensitive, and
Ah,
you
good.
need to be really, really
Oh, fucking
nice.
don't sit on fucking YouTubes. Get out on the bike. Fuck the world. Yeah.
Well, too bad it's I live in an apartment, and it's a really hard to get it out of the apartment. It's just a pain in the ass. I like this close to a car to get it out, and it's just. And when I'm tired, I'm like, for fuck's sake, I have to get it out again. And if I had a garage, just go get out, I would probably, go out on the bike. But where I live right now, it's just too hard to, to do it often. Let's say if I do it once a week, I can deal with it. But if I have to do it more often, I just get fed up.
Aye. I don't know, mate. You're a fucking barrel of laughs, Ellis.
Oh yeah,
You're a fucking barrel of laughs, mate.
bright, totally bright. Cheering everyone up.
I think I'll go and jump off the Erskine Bridge now.
Oh, good idea,
Fuck
but I
this.
would have to drive a long way for that.
If people are no behaving like fucking marionettes and puppets, I've got fucking you trying to bring me down to the pits of fucking hell with despair and anguish. You know?
Alice in Wonderland.
Look at you, you're laughing as well, you can't. You're fucking laughing.
Well, maybe because you're so funny.
Just as well I've got thick skin. You know?
I can't get through, for fuck's sake.
Hey. Are you part of the Illuminati here to bring me down?
What
your
your tattoos? Fuck,
Aye.
right up.
No tattoos, we got a heavy, dreary attitude. Fucking hell, that's worse than guns.
Oh. Yeah, I
Good
think I'll
stuff.
get a tattoo now and then just say, oh,
Don't, because you'll just fucking moan about it in 2 months' time. Oh, fucking tattoos get me depressed.
oh, maybe I'll get a kick out of being called a Satanist on YouTube.
Aye, that's it. Just get 666 tattooed across your forehead. That'll set them right off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you get the gears going.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
But yeah, it's just I'm a people person. I like to interact. I like to have a conversation. Just
Are you sure?
but fucking hell, if I don't get that for a long time, it's just I get really fucking sad.
Aye. I know you're making me sad, so I hope you're fucking happy with yourself. No, isolation could be. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with isolation because I learned to just like my own company. For years, I couldn't. I hated myself. I had too much inner turmoil going on, and then eventually I go to the point, as I say, for me that was the breakthrough for me, being able to get up each morning and be content with who I was, and embrace that, and just live stress free. I don't have to take stress on board. You know, whatever, however I'm feeling is because of where my attention is and what I'm placing my attention on and what I'm telling myself. If I'm feeling like that, if you're feeling like that, then it lies solely at your feet. You know,
Right.
it's
How
down
do
to,
you deal with being bored to death?
well, be active. Don't be bored to death, because if you're bored to death, you're waiting on somebody else. You're waiting in stimulus from somewhere else. You have to make your own stimulus. That's why, you know, for
Right.
that whole period of my living like that, I learned how to play guitar. I just said, fuck it, I'm going to place my attention wholly into that. And that's what I've done for 10 years. Locked myself away in isolation, and I get out my bed, played my guitar, went to my bed, you know, repeat ad infinitum to, you know,
Right.
right into my
I've
30s.
been looking into buying an instrument because I do feel like that could be an outlet for me.
Aye.
But at the same time, and maybe that's just me, you know, at this age, you know, like I'm running into a wall. Like, okay, maybe I should, like, should I punch through it, or
But that's
you
no,
know?
but that's the thing. You go where you naturally have that inclination. So what you need to identify is what it is truly that you want. You know,
Right.
because you're only going to do something when you really want to do something. There's no point in taking ideas to try and deflect your attention and doing stuff half-hearted, because you're just going to end up back at square one again. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's about thinking and pondering yourself. What is it you're actually looking for? What is it you really want and what you really need, and identify it, and then go after it. But if you continually, you know, say something and cut your own legs off before you start, you're just never going to go anywhere. And I remember being like that. You know,
yeah.
know that I'm, you know, projecting that that's where you are right now. I'm just talking from my experience. But similar to kind of things you're saying, you know, when you mentioned the bike, oh, but I've got this problem and that problem. You know, it's like finding problems not to partake in it. So therefore, your heart's not really in it. Because when your heart's in something, it doesn't matter what obstacles are in the way, you're going to do it. So I think the problem always is identifying something that you really want, you know, and then you'll have that stimulus because you'll have the focus, you know.
But what about if stamina, if the will is missing, like the energy,
Well,
the
but again, that's because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because when you're doing it for the right reason, your will be there, the energy will be there, your attention will be there. You know, it's that whole saying, I tried. Don't try, because when you're trying, you're not really wanting to do it. You know, when you want something, you just do it. You don't try, you just do. You know.
right? Yeah, I agree. But then
So
again, when I think about it, there's not really anything other than interacting with people and, you know, having a nice chat like this, for example. Other than that, I don't know.
I'll chat more, network with people, start reaching out and fucking having conversations with people. You know, I seen that you put some videos up. I was watching one of your videos. So start, you know, doing that more often and try and go live and invite people in to have chats with you. You know, because you're probably more approachable than me. I hardly get anybody coming to speak to me because I'm a scary bastard. But you're less threatening, so you'll get more conversation.
Okay, well that's a compliment I usually don't get. I don't look scary.
No, no. Just
I,
don't depress them to fucking death, though. You know?
oh, I can though.
I know you can. I fucking know. Maybe that's your forte in life. Maybe you're
Oh,
just a fucking sour poop. You know? Party pooper. There's you, that's your title. A new profession.
aye.
You could be in government, you can't. You should be fucking joining the government. Or a priest. Priests are usually morbid, dreary wee fuckers. Ooh, woe's me.
Go all monk and. Well, actually, hold on.
Aye, that's it.
Oh,
Get the hood up.
there you go.
He's a dark lord. Look,
Uh,
fucking. I'm here to depress thee.
aye.
Oh fuck it, there you go. You would have success. You'd be a world champion at it.
Yeah, at least I wouldn't be bored.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, it's all good fun, mate. It's all good fun. Yeah. But no, seriously, open up your channel and fucking, see if you can get people to come in and have conversations, or just go live and fucking speak your mind and say what you've got to say. Something that helps me, when I just.
Yeah, I do that. And I usually do that when I feel like it, of course. When I have the drive to do it, but I don't always have the inspiration or the something to say, because when I come on, I like to have something to say, or at least something on my mind to express. But I don't always have that. Sometimes I'm just.
Well,
live on the couch.
What makes you happy?
I don't know.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe that's my problem. Yeah,
that's the problem. You need to contemplate some and start figuring out who you actually are and what it is you actually want. And don't be scared to admit it to yourself, because that's the problem I used to have. And what I used to do was say I want that, but then I would cut myself off by convincing myself that I would never get there.
Oh, yeah, that's actually happening to me with learning to play an instrument.
Exactly.
Every time I see an instrument, I feel and I know that I want an instrument, and I've back in the day.
But I can relate to that, because I'm an impatient fucker. And that was one thing, that I learned when I was learning to play the guitar. I knew that I had an ambition to play it, and I had to be patient. Because I'm like that. I want to be able to fucking rip on the neck within a week, and if I don't, I'm no fucking happy. But just being satisfied with gradual progress, and getting stimulus from gradual progress trains you to have that discipline and to alleviate that impatience, So that's the best advice I can give you, mate. Start simply, start small, set a small goal and achieve that small goal, and then before you know it, you're 10 years down the road and your life's different.
Yeah, like a long time ago, I had a guitar, and I was exactly like you described. If I wasn't fucking what's his name? From the Dire Straits, the guy.
Mark Knopfler.
Mark Knopfler, yeah. If I wasn't that guy in a week, I was like,
Well, see, to be honest with you, and if wee Rab was still alive, he would testify to this. Have you ever seen the video of the angriest guitar player in the world?
No, I haven't.
Where it's the old guy, and he's getting frustrated, and he's blaming his fingers, and he's smashing his fingers off the guitar, and he ends up smashing the guitar up, and all. That was me. When I seen that video, I laughed so hard, because I'm like, that was fucking me. That's who I was,
Aye.
But as I say, you just, and it comes from, different environment, peer pressures. I had low self-esteem, from, my childhood, from family, from, social interactions. There was loads of, factors that played a role in me being like that. But I had to battle it. I had to say, no, fuck this. I'm not going to be the victim. I'm not going to keep cutting my legs off before I can walk. I'm just going to take it a bit at a time and get satisfaction from that. As I say, you've got perfect time right now. There's no stress. You can chill with yourself, relax in your life, and enjoy something.
Aye, yeah, I definitely agree. I'm that impatient as well. And, and every time I think, okay, I want an instrument, maybe a guitar or a keyboard.
You have them all set up in the living room, right? Oh, no, I can't decide. Oh, no.
And then all these, it definitely feels like cutting myself off, because for some reason I just do not tolerate it to think that in a year time I would still be practicing.
Yeah. But But that's the thing with instruments. This is the thing. It's one of these things. It's a puzzle that keeps on giving. You're never going to get to a point where you have totally mastered every. It's
Oh, it'd be
something
boring.
you're constantly learning, and it's the same as life. Everything. Never think that you can dominate and have total mastery over the whole thing. You'll always learn something.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you could learn everything, eventually you'll be like, whoa, what the fuck's left
Aye,
now? And,
you'd be
what
bored.
do
Exactly.
next?
Exactly. And that's what I say about life, consciousness, the bigger version of what we're a part of. Why would you want to know the entirety, which is an impossibility anyway, but why would you try and desire that? Because it's going to be useless to you. Because then
Yeah.
you're never going to have the quality of experience ever again.
Because then you would actually be genuinely bored. You could
Yeah.
objectively genuinely be bored if you
Right.
know everything and be able to do everything.
Exactly. It's a slippery downward slope from there. You're just going to
Yeah.
descend into fucking madness,
Yeah.
which you're no far away from right now.
Thank you for being so positive. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff, mate.
Aye. Yeah, I'll have to wait a month to be able to afford a guitar, but yeah, I'll definitely I'll just have to break that barrier and go, fuck it. At least I should try,
Exactly, man. Exactly. Anything that you're putting your attention to, figure out what it is you really desire, and then take it a step at a time, and
Aye.
just take satisfaction from each step.
Aye.
All right, mate.
All right.
Go.
I'm gonna go to bed. It's actually 11 o'clock here.
No worries.
All right. Cheers for the chat, man.
Anytime, my man.
All right. Cheers.
Take care. Cheers for that, Simon. Throwing himself around this one. No worries, Simon. Same to yourself, mate. Cherry Doc, I'm fucking raging, Dale. I want to have a rave in George Square. That's all we Generation X know how to do. But it's perfect. For now. A few hundred or maybe thousand in George Square, with the good tunes on, telling coppers to get to fuck is what's required ASAP. I'm ex-heavyweight boxing champion of Scotland. I met you at the last post. We're about the same size. I was with my kids and just said hello. They are in Drumchapel Boxing Club and the kids are really suffering. The adults are really suffering. My kids are really suffering. Dale, I swear I'll be at the front. You're great with your mouth and you know that you could go ahead, but I swear I'll take more out than even you if required. I know, Jerry, it's a fucking sad state, man. It really is. And just as you say, there's so many wee layers that you don't think about, just as you say, the boxing club for the young ones. It's the same for some of these young ones, as you know yourself. They're in kind of abusive homes, and some of these things, getting outside, getting to boxing clubs with other adults, other children, it's an escape. It's a sanctuary for them to escape the fucking squalor of their home life, whether it be abusive or poverty or whatever it may be. All these things are being fucking affected right now, and everybody's just fucking. Do you know what it is? It's all these cunts that have got enough, that sit in their wee fucking snug bulks thinking, I've got enough for me, so fuck the world, and while I'm at it, I'm going to phone the police because Mrs. McGlumfer's been out twice today, and I'm not happy about that. They don't give a fuck about any of this. All these different layerings of different, aspects of social living. As I say, something like that is imperative. Could be the difference between life or death, torture and pain and stress relief for some of these people to just go to a boxing club, a couple of nights a week or every night of the week. They really need it. So I'm with you, mate. You know, as I say, I'm of the same ilk. Just party, smile, laugh, dance, get it right up ease. And if you dare come and try and lay a finger on us, you're fucking getting it. We're going to go at you all in. We're peaceful. We want to be peaceful. Just leave us the fuck alone. Mind your own fucking business. Well, that seems to be too difficult for some people. Jerry, I'm sure you're well aware. Aye, it's fucking pish. Aye, what time am I on here? 10 past. Dave, I see you've requested, but I'm going to get off now, mate. I'm going to go and get a piss and take the dog out. We can do it the next time. So. Aye, I'm for it, as I say. Start banging the pots and pans every night at 8 o'clock in defiance. And tell everybody that's why you're doing it, and get them to fucking join in. If people want to start going out and having parties in the street, I'm up for it. Get the fucking bar, don't dance. I'm not into dance music. Get the guitars out and get the barbecues on, I'll fucking show up. Fuck them. Aye. Well, cheers, Dave. Sorry about that, mate. I'm going to get off, but obviously you're welcome the next time. So, take it easy, people. I'll be back soon. I know I was away all this week and not been on, but as I say, I've not got much to occupy me next week, so I'll be on a few times. And the opportunity's here. If you're isolated and you don't have anybody to speak to, then you can come in and have a chat. Talk about anything. I mean, you've seen the Ellis here. If you want to come in and moan, that's fine. We'll have a laugh about it. So, take care. See you later on, people.